Can McCaffrey do it again? It's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. Fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Washington Redskins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. We think back to all the interceptions he threw last week. Here we go. First play of the game, another pick.
And you know that all week long, they spent time breaking down exactly why he threw the interceptions. Was it mechanics, bad reads, not enough study? Sometimes you just think about it way too much, and that leads you to the next one.
Time to refocus.
All right, here we go.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. He hit pay dirt so many times we almost lost track. Every time we turned around, he was in the end zone.
And those weren't all just one-yard plunges either, partner. I mean, he ripped off a few long jaunts as well.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Looking to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll set up a throw. And he finds his man, Griffin. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Leopard, Leopard.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He's going to get it running right. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Redskins have taken a first quarter lead. And man, Charles, talking about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Derrick Henry. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Looking to throw on second down. Miles. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Tucker now to add the point after. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick 6 last time out. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On second down, here's Henry. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Here's a look at the starters defensively for Washington. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
From the gun, Miles. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A first down carry for Henry. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Again to Henry. And now running right through it. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
10 more there and another first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Set. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Miles. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. To throw on 3rd down, Miles. And that is incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit. Detroit. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gardner. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Leopard. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 more yards there and another first down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried. Because a lot of times, that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And he is the NFC reigning Offensive Player of the Week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab it.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers. And for him to separate again, he has to have the same type of a game. That means being explosive off the line of scrimmage and catching everything that comes his way.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. Now let's go.
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Detroit! Set! Green 30.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. That's Gardner. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Pitching it out to McCaffrey, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over. and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far, this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go now.
Now a handoff to Henry. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. and the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Erickson. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now back to throw. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 30.
They'll look to throw here. He sets up the screen to Jones. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Automatic 1st down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed. Boom.
They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Here we go now.
This is Henry. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Miles. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Back to throw here. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
They're going to look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Take it at the 37. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Set. Blue line it. Blue line.
Again, it's Henry. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
On third down, Miles. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Tucker now for the extra point. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time, decent field position 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, second and 3.
Now let's go. Blue line it. Blue line.
To throw on second down. Miles under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Deion Jones coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
The Dolphins on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Miles. And this is going to be incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now a toss. This is McCaffrey. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Redskins on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
He'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Tide Bulls tried it, went for it, but it didn't pay off. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a peep or protest out of them. That's just who they are.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw on second down. Miles firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Throwing on first down. Miles. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Green 39! Green 39!
Henry. Josh Jackson, the former Iowa Hawkeye, made the play defensively. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
To throw on second down, Miles. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. The Dolphins on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun, Miles. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Gotta try it here. He's back to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And down he'll go at the 25. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Now let's go.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Going for the deep ball. He's got a man complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there at 22. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
A handoff left, McCaffrey. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Back to throw. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them. I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner, and just think about how good that feels.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Back to throw. Miles. And now here's another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. We get a glance at the Redskins defense as they go back out there now. They've played excellent. Another stop here, that would just be the icing on the cake.
You definitely want to finish things off the way it's gone throughout the day, and it's gone awfully well for them. They don't want to give up any type of a fluke, any type of a big play here. That'll leave a bad taste in their mouth as they go in and celebrate.
Yeah, they want that good cake taste, right?
No doubt about it. That 6-layer cake.
Throwing after the interception. Miles goes underneath for Henry. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, It's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hamilton. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On first down, Miles. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes...
What's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. For real. What's up, the rest. Hey, I got that check-in to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat, ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie got the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check-in to golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands and your fingers. Your ears with a get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get to fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zip the back that like a popo. These they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. Finna got in the gently. Ain't been friends with these. When I was down, I so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm up like mistletoe. This my own. Not gonna lost on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my ring. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you. Rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting walk, got a big band, it's like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with a no, it's time
I got that check-in to golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No call. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce.